What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. Manchester United are back in action again in the Premier League on Matchday 15 up against Wolverhampton Wanderers at Molineux Stadium, 8 PM kickoff tomorrow, and manager is Rob Edwards. Now last season in the Premier League head to head at home Manchester United lost 1-0 in April 2025, and then away from home Manchester United lost 2-0 in December 2024. So unfortunately last season Wolves did do the double over us, so they took 6 points off us last season, unfortunately. And last season, under Vitor Pereira, who was manager, he took over from Gary O'Neill in December 2024. They finished 16th. They won a total of 12 games, drew 6, lost 20. They scored 54 goals and conceded 69, had a goal difference of minus 15, and finished with 42 points. So they finished level on points with Manchester United. But of course, Man United finished ahead of Wolves due to goal difference. Man United had a goal difference of minus 10. But on the 2nd of November, Vitor Pereira was, 2nd of November this year, that is, of course, Vitor Pereira was sacked after less than a year in charge and a 36.84 win ratio, as well as a winless start to the Premier League season, where he lost 8 out of 10 Premier League games and drew 2. He also had Wolves rock bottom in 20th. 10 days later, Rob Edwards was appointed as head coach from Middlesbrough. So in terms of some insights for the match, Wolves did the Premier League double over Man United last season, like I mentioned. That is as many victories as they'd managed in their previous 14 against the Red Devils, where they won 2, drew 3 and lost 9. And like I mentioned before, Manchester United lost this exact fixture 2-0 last season, but haven't lost consecutive league visits against Wolves at Molineux since August 1980, and Manchester United have only ever lost 8 Premier League games against sides starting the day bottom of the table. However, 25% of these, 2 out of 8, have been against Wolves at Molineux, a 1-0 loss in January 2004, and then a 2-1 loss in February 2011. Wolves have won just 1 of their last 10 Monday night fixtures, 7 PM or later games in the Premier League, drawing 2 and losing 7, and are winless in 6 since a 2-1 win against Everton in November 2021. Finally, Manchester United are unbeaten in 4 away Premier League matches, winning 2 and drawing 2, having gone 8 without a win on the road beforehand. They last had a longer unbeaten away run between November and February in the 2021 to the 22 campaign with 7. So in terms of some recent form for Wolves, like I mentioned, you know, they've only won 2. They're winless all season. Basically, they've not won a league game all season. They're coming away with losses to Nottingham Forest midweek. So they lost to Nottingham Forest on the 3rd of December. They lost to Villa before that. They lost to Crystal Palace. They lost to Chelsea. They lost to Fulham. And you know, in all them games they didn't even manage to score either. So they are basically they're not scoring goals. They're losing matches. They've picked up 2 points all season, which were 2 draws against Tottenham and Brighton. So in terms of some form, it's looking good for United, but you can never trust United, if you know what I mean. But in terms of some Wolves team news, Wolverhampton Wanderers are without João Gomez, who is suspended. So this is how I think Wolves are going to line up. Johnston in net, of course. Chachao, Mosquera, Agbadu, Gomez, and Wolfer making up the back 5. Krejci and Andre making up the 2 in midfield. Then Arias, Strand Larsen, and Bellegarde making up the front 3. So Wolves do like to line up usually a 3 at the back, which does transfer to a 5 at the back without the ball. It can be a 5-3-2 or a 5-2-3 formation. But in terms of attacking with possession, they use Edwards. He likes a back 3, so back 3 base with wing backs and midfield overloads. Edwards favours a back 3 formation, usually a 3-4-2-1 or sometimes a 3-4-1-2. The wing backs provide width while the 2 central midfielders push up, allowing Wolves to create overloads in central and wide areas. This structure gives flexibility. The wing backs give width, the midfielders can drift into pockets, and there's room for either 1 striker or 2 depending on the match. Number 2, direct counterattacks and variable routes forward. Edwards has said Wolves will combine a good bit of football with a cross and finish, but also use counterattacks and a high press or counter press to regain possession high and break quickly. Given the squad, Wolves may lean more on direct routes rather than intricate possession. Number 3, increased intensity, pressing and work rate when in possession. One of the early observational changes under Edwards is a clear increase in intensity. Wolves are sprinting more, pressing more, and committing to a higher tempo on the ball. Edwards has stressed that intensity will be key both in pressing and in attacking transitions. Number 4, flexibility and pragmatism, adapting formation and attacking approach to the opposition. So Edwards has admitted he's willing to change formation and shape depending on the opponent. For example, he deployed two strikers, Strand Larsen and Arokodar in his opening games to try bolster the attack, but he's also said that won't necessarily be the norm each week. Pragmatism suggests that Wolves won't rigidly stick to one style, but try to build, but try to pick the right tools for each match. Number 5, a gradual build-up and moments of direct threat, not purely possession-based. While Wolves are not adopting a possession-dominant, keep the ball style, Edwards wants enough control to build attacks patiently when needed. As he stated, we want to control but also counter-press, high regain, and then a cross and a finish. That mix, patient when possible, direct when necessary, could give Wolves a dual identity, a structured build-up when safe, vertical and direct when opponents arise. So that's how Wolves are going to line up in possession with the ball. But in terms of without the ball, Edwards wants his teams to aggressive pressing and high regain intensity. So data has shown Wolves are sprinting more under Edwards, so you're going to expect more of that. Compact defensive structure with back three stability, like I mentioned. Number 3, transition oriented defense, and a defense to attack via counter press and quick breaks. So by pressing high and winning the ball back quickly, Wolves aim to transition into attack before opponents have reorganized, enabling quick counter-attacks or direct forward play. Pragmatism as well. Shape and tactics can shrink under pressure. While the preferred structure is expansive, Edwards acknowledges that when Wolves are under pressure, the team may need to shrink and adopt a more compact shape. And number 5, work rate, duels and fight. So building defensive spirit and resilience, Edwards has repeatedly emphasized fight, determination, organization when evaluating his side's early performances. Given Wolves' current struggles, league position, confidence, poor results, this emphasis on grit and defensive resilience may form the foundation of the attempt to survive, even if the attacking output is limited. So that's Wolves without the ball. In terms of Wolves' star man, I'm going to have to say it's Strand Larsen. Last season, he scored 14 goals and provided 4 assists, which are really good numbers for a poor Wolves side. But, in terms of Wolves, they have kind of struggled since the likes of Cunha has left them, of course, and then of course you had Ryan Aït-Nouri as well leave to Manchester City. So they've definitely struggled a lot this season. And let's talk about Man United a little bit. In terms of Manchester United, we are coming away with a poor 1-1 draw against West Ham at home. So in terms of the match, we lost a winning position late on. We went ahead through Diego Dallo early on in the second half, looking well on course for the win, but we conceded a soft equaliser from Sungutsu Magasa in the 83rd minute after failing to deal with a corner properly. And there was a lack of control and defensive frailty under pressure. Despite dominating possession for periods of the game, United collapsed under pressure, especially conceding from a set piece in a match they were expected to dominate at home. And then it was also a missed chance to climb the table. Lack of killer instinct, that is for us. The draw denied United the chance to move up to 5th place in the Premier League with a weaker opponent in relegation. With a weaker opponent in a relegation battle, West Ham. The performance and result underscored a lack of consistency and urgency. So it was a really poor result against West Ham, and that's 1 point out of a possible 6 against West Ham and at Everton at Old Trafford, which simply isn't good enough. So in terms of Manchester United's team news, Sesko is still out with a knee injury, of course, and Maguire is also out as well. So in terms of Manchester United starting 11, this is who I've gone with. Lemens in net, of course. Mazraoui, De Ligt and Shaw making up the back 3. I'm banking on De Ligt coming back into the back 3. Hopefully he's fit and available for this match. And then a midfield 4 of Ahmad, Menu, Fernandes and Dogu. Then a front 3 of Mbumo, Cunha and Xerxes. So obviously the most notable changes are that I've got Mazraoui in there ahead of Euro, because I think Mazraoui offers more on the ball. And another change to my lineup is that I've got Molineux ahead of Casemiro, but I don't think Ruben Amorim is going to go for that. This is my preferred 11, not predicted. If I was predicting it, I'm going to predict that I'm going to predict that Amorim is going to still going to persist with that double pivot of Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes. But personally, I've got Molineux in there. Molineux, I've got him in there to bring that quality on the ball, because I think we're going to be dominating possession, and I think we need that kind of killer instinct on the ball, that press resistance, and that ability to play through the lines to make line breaking passes. I think Molineux has that quality over Casemiro, so that's why I've got Molineux in there. In terms of Manchester United star man, this time I'm going to go with Bryan Mbeumo, because I think he's due a goal soon, so hopefully he can get on the score sheet. But, you know, I think Bruno Fernandes as well is up there in terms of United star man as well. Hopefully, if we deliver, we have a chance again to move up the league table, because other teams have dropped points, so we possibly could be moving up the league table if we do beat Wolves. So how do you beat Wolves? Number one, exploit Wolves' poor lack of form and confidence. Wolves are rock bottom this season with very few wins and a thin goal scoring record. Their defence and morale are under pressure. United should capitalise on that by applying early pressure and not allowing them to settle. Number two, use superiority in individual quality and attacking players. United generally have more technical and creative resources, midfield playmakers and attackers who can create and finish. Against a struggling Wolves backline, this quality advantage can give United the edge in tight moments, provided they stay sharp. Number three, press high and force mistakes. Exploit defensive frailty. Given Wolves' struggles, a proactive high-intensity approach could force errors. United can win the ball high, transition quickly and catch Wolves out when their structure collapses. Winning early transitions or set-piece chances could be decisive, especially if Wolves' confidence is low. And number four, control the game tempo, maintain possession and patience. United should avoid going too frantic or wasteful. By controlling possession, keeping Wolves pinned back and waiting for the right moment, they reduce the risk of counter-attack threats and increase the chances of breaking through. This also counters the risk of sloppy play that could give Wolves hope. Patience can frustrate the home side and force them to overcommit. And number five, stay compact defensively and avoid set-piece transition vulnerability. So given how Wolves have sometimes snatched surprise goals from set breaks or quick breaks, United must be organised at the back, avoid complacency and minimise easy opportunity for Wolves. Clean defending, communication, concentration, especially after scoring, will be key to turning pressure into a positive result. So that's how Manchester United can beat Wolves. Given how inconsistent Man United have been and poor results that we have in the past 5 games, I think it's going to be a difficult match tomorrow against Wolves. So I wouldn't be surprised if Man United do drop points against a poor Wolves side. But yeah, let's take a look at the Premier League table before we head off. So let's pull up the Premier League table right now. So at this moment in time, Crystal Palace are drawing against Fulham. So if Crystal Palace do drop points to Fulham, Manchester United could potentially move to 25 points, potentially move into 5th place in the Premier League again. We've got another chance to move up the league table. Hopefully we take it this time, but I'm not counting my chickens, because honestly our form overall in the past 5 games has been really inconsistent. Ever since we got them three wins in a row, our form has just been inconsistent. So I wouldn't be surprised if Man United do drop points tomorrow. Hopefully we don't, but yeah, with a win, Manchester United could move to 25 points. So with 25 points, if Palace do drop points, we would move to 5th position. We would move tied on points with Chelsea, who are in 4th position, and we're right amongst there in the Champions League spaces if we do pick up the 3 points against Wolves. Wolves, like I mentioned, they've scored 7 goals all season. They've conceded 29. Only Burnley have conceded more goals than Wolves, but obviously Burnley have played a game more. Wolves haven't played yet, of course, this game week. So Wolves have scored 7 goals all season. You know, I wouldn't be surprised because Man United can't keep a clean sheet. Wolves aren't scoring. You know, you'd think that United are going to keep a clean sheet this game, but I just can't get my hopes up with regards to United, because they're just so inconsistent. 0 wins for Wolves, 2 draws, and 12 losses. Surely, it's got 3 points written all over us, but 3 points for United, but I just don't trust United to get the job done. And obviously, let's speak a little bit about the games that we've dropped points. We dropped 2 points to Nottingham Forest. We dropped 2 points to Tottenham, that's 4. 3 points against Everton, that's 7. And then we won against Crystal Palace, which was good. But then we dropped 2 points to West Ham at home. So that's a total of 9 points dropped in the previous 5 games, which we should be winning. So 2 against Forest, 2 against Spurs, that's 4. 3 against Everton, that's 7. 7 plus 2 against Everton, that's 9. 9 points. If we had won all them games, we'd be on 31 points. We would be tied on points with Manchester City right now. And that just goes to show how tight the Premier League is and how you get punished for basically not picking up points. And we have to be getting all 3 points against Wolves tomorrow. Personally, I'm not counting my chickens. I don't think we are, because of how inconsistent we've been. Hopefully we do, but like I said, I'm not confident for this game. I'm going to predict the loss. I think Man United are going to lose because I'm not confident in us whatsoever. Going for a 2-1 Wolves win. Strand Larsen to score 2 goals and Mbumo to get the other one. At this moment in time, I don't believe in Amorim and the team to deliver consistent performances and results yet. That's why I did mention in the West Ham preview that these next 2 games against West Ham and Wolves are going to tell us a lot about how the rest of the season is going to go. And if we didn't pick up maximum points against West Ham and against Wolves, I don't see us getting Champions League football. And that's my main kind of point that I'm trying to make. I don't think we're going to get in Champions League football simply because of how often we are dropping points. And, like I said, 9 points dropped in the previous 5 games against Forest, Spurs, Everton and West Ham. We would be on 31 points if we had won them games, and we'd be tied on points with Manchester City. And that just goes to show how tight the Premier League table is. But yeah, I'm not confident for this game. That's why I'm going for a loss. Hopefully I'm proven wrong and Man United come away with all 3 points. Anyway, I'm going for a 2-1 Wolves win. Strand Larsen to score 2 and Mbumo to score 1. Anyway, hopefully I'm wrong and Man United come away with all 3 points. If you enjoyed this preview, leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you after the match.